Welcome to my top 10 manga series where the MC becomes the ruler or a noble in a fantasy world. Without further ado, let's get to the top list. I think I'll hide my true ability to the last moment. A world where you can contract with God and gain skills. Yuno was born as the third son of a famous knight family. He was so busy controlling the innate power that he was called incompetent. However, in the Magical Knight Academy, who was enrolled for some reason, he fulfilled his fateful encounter with an unnamed god. So Yuno contracted with the goddess and named her Athena. Previous life was Sword Emperor. This life is Trash Prince. Wanting to distance himself from his past life where he lived as if possessed by the sword, they decided to just lead a life of a wastrel, earning the nickname, Trash Prince. They considered returning to the kingdom, but a certain knight's death manages to shake his heart. Thus he decided to wield the sword once again. The legend of the strongest lazy prince begins. Spirit's Paradise and the Idol Another World Life. The main character is a hardcore gamer and also a manga reader. He entered the supermarket. Suddenly when he went out he found himself in the middle of deserted nature. He regains his senses and manages to survive in the other world. The main character tries to revive the desert land, with his cheat tool and his wonderful relationship with spirits like a weapon, and towards a pleasant life in another world while managing his land. Yuru Fuwa Noka no Moji bake skill. A 29-year-old single man is transferred to a different world with overpowered agricultural skills. Awakening his skill in farm tools handling, he started a chilling home vegetable garden in the secluded forest. Managing and cultivating his land, he achieved a peaceful life and also befriended powerful beings. This manga contains a lot of ecchi, so you better be ready. I want a slow life in the countryside after reincarnation. The protagonist, Anaka Yuji, was run over by a truck because his awareness was dulled from overworking. But then to the power of 4 he met God and it was decided he will be reincarnated in the countryside of the other world. He became Alfred Slowlife, the second son of a countryside noble. Will he be able to enjoy and leisurely spend his slow life in the countryside? Prince of Genius Rise Worst Kingdom. The prince of this small and weak kingdom strives for only one thing: selling out his country and living a quiet life in leisure. Sadly, the greatest obstacle he will ever face is his genius. As he achieves ever greater accomplishments, he earns more and more favor with the people of his kingdom, which makes fulfilling his dreams all the harder. Saving 80,000 gold coins in the different world for my old age. Yamano Mitsuha is an 18-year-old girl who lost her family in an accident. She was transferred to a different world with a civilization level of medieval Europe. When she discovered it was possible to go and return to Earth after a deadly fight with wolves, she decided to live in both worlds and earn a lot of things, and manage the land that she owns. Excellent development of Reincarnated Lords. The protagonist is working in the Black Company when he suddenly collapsed from exhaustion and woke up to find himself that he had been reincarnated as the son of a weak lord in another world. He was attacked by a demon, lost his parents, and took over a territory that no longer had any residents. The path he chose to survive was to gather people under extremely white conditions. This is a territory management fantasy that starts with no residents. Noble Reincarnation. Born as the 13th prince, Noah was originally in a position beyond the inheritance of the empire, so he was free to spend time in a given territory. However, the crown prince died before the emperor. The inheritance of the empire is quite competitive among the rest of the princes. Noah, who was the strongest despite his free life, overwhelmed the other princes and eventually became the emperor with the greatest power in the world. My gift level 9999 unlimited gacha. A human boy named Light is kicked out from the adventurer party called the Race Union by his trusted comrades. The Light was welcomed into the Legion because of his gift Infinite Gacha, a gift that might be owned by a powerful being. But in the end, their investigation showed that he is not, so they decided to kill him. Luckily he escapes, and he draws the Gacha card in the Abyss that has abundant mana. This is about the boy who becomes the ruler of the Abyss, seeking revenge on the one that betrays, and belittles the human race.